Hello, Cindy Olin here, love and relationship expert with Create Your Own Luck and Love. I support women and some amazing men to attract and keep lasting love, enriching their relationships, overcome emotional triggers, communicate with love and feminine based communication, and shift their reality in creating the love and relationships they desire. So I'm excited to be here with you guys today. Gosh, that was a long introduction for myself. And I'm here with my dear friend, Missy.
Hi, everyone. Yay, Cindy. I love you so much. This is going to be so fun today. I'm Missy Strasner. I help women get to their next level in business. Most of my clients are female entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants who want to break through glass ceilings when it comes to their income, influence, and impact in the world with what they're doing. A lot of my clients come to me wanting to hit six figures or break past the six-figure mark. And while they come to me, oftentimes hiring me for sales mastery or like the strategy and the business component, we really end up working on their mindset, their skills, developing the right skills and their energy. So I'm really excited to be talking about this today because I specialize also in teaching women how to own and be in their feminine energy and self-mastery when it comes to feminine leadership. So we are going to have a really awesome week. I'm going to turn it back over to Cindy, and I'm just super excited for all of you to really step into your feminine power this week.
Yes. Amen to what you shared. A lot of what I teach is around mindset and owning your power and your feminine mastery. And what the heck does that mean anywhere? Anyway, the feminine mastery, we talk about it, but I feel like a lot of times we haven't learned what that is, what that means. And femininity, when we think I'm just going to bring up a few things when it comes to feminine and masculine. Femininity is flow. Femininity is also ever changing, receiving, open, like allowing, the opposite of doing, create, actually feminine flow, choose inspiration, right?
Creativity.
Ideas, decisions, trust, allowance. Masculine is the opposite. Masculine is that rock, that steady rock. And masculine is doing, focus, decision making, stepping in. And it's a lot of what we as women are cultivated to be. So, oftentimes, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, my mom was always running around doing things. She still does. But she was just, in her doing, whether it be making dinner, doing things, just making sure everything's done. Which is very masculine. And, the house cleaning, raising children, it's very masculine. A lot of times women don't see the mother as being very masculine. And in the workplace, she was a professional. So that's all masculine doing. So we haven't really learned, or most of us haven't seen what femininity is. It's allowing, it's resting in those strong arms and allowing that around us, trusting, opening up. So we're going to give you this week the tools to embodying that openness and that feminine mastery. And we're also giving you this container this week to create something for yourself in love and money. So whether that looks like we're looking at something stretchy yet attainable, right? So whether that looks like a date, um, when you know you've never, yeah, so a date, or if you want to create a deeper connection in your relationship, awesome, make it that. Or if you're looking to have a date with a higher value man, make that it. So those things you get to decide. So it starts with a decision. When it comes to a lot of times, what I also see too, when women aren't feeling confident in what it is they desire, they change their minds a lot. So they hop from one thing to another. They make a decision and they take it back. And that usually has to do with confidence and that what I call mean girl that resides inside of us. So decisions are super duper powerful. I'm going to share this quick story. So I know this woman that was, she had chronic back issues, and she was going to see a chiropractor. She was really wanting to get an optimum health, and she had this idea that she wanted to run. She wanted to become a runner. She knew other people that did it. She saw the benefits, and she wanted to get that runner's high that everybody talks about. And so she, consulted her chiropractor. She's like, look, I can barely run. Do you really think this is possible? And the chiropractor said, yeah, you could actually start now, but just start on the treadmill and start with 2 minutes a day. And so she did. She started with 2 minutes a day, and that felt pretty easy. She didn't have any pain, so she moved it up to 5 minutes. Then it moved up to 10, then 15, then 30 minutes. The next thing you know, she was running down Pacific Coast Highway and running different races and doing all sorts of things. And she experienced that runner's high and created that vision. Now that started with a decision. She knew she wanted it, and she decided. She just made that decision, and it was meaningful enough to her. That person is me, by the way, that did that. I no longer have chronic back issues, by the way. Interestingly enough, that's a whole nother story we'll talk about another time. But decisions are super powerful, and it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to me. What running meant to me was that I could feel vital, have a lot of energy. I could, feel really svelte in my body and notice it tightening up. And I was literally in the best shape of my life during that time. So it started with that decision. Now, Missy, I know I'm going to turn it over to you to talk about some of the things that happen when we make decisions, because, how many of you, and just put yes in here, have made a decision and been like, yeah, this is really important to me. Like, I'm going to meet the love of my life this year. How many of you guys have declared something like that? You've gotten super excited about it, and then the next thing you know, you've gone out on a couple bad dates and you're like, yeah, no, I'm going to take a break from dating for a while. And then you don't actually keep your focus in what that decision was. And that could be in anything, right? Business. Oh, I did a launch and it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. So I stopped, or I distracted myself, and I went and did something else. Who has experienced that? Yes, I know I have.
Mhm.
And there's a difference between being really committed and setting yourself up to win, and making a decision and just putting it out there, hoping that it will manifest itself, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Want me
go ahead.
I want me to speak
Yeah,
into
why
that?
don't you
Yeah, okay,
why
so
don't
you've
you yeah, why
uh,
don't you speak into some of the obstacles that stand in the way of, when they come up?
yeah, so you make a decision and you're like, "Yeah, this week, here's what I wanna create." So, I want to create a new date, with a high quality man. I wanna create so you pick these 2 things, and I wanna create a new client. Say you're a business owner, you haven't had a client for a little while, or you're opening up, you have a new program that you're launching and you're making we can relate to this, and you're making offers. So I want to create a new client, and I'm not sure where it's gonna come from. I'm just open to receiving it. I'm not sure where it's gonna come from. I'm just open to receiving it, but I'm gonna show up and do my part. I'm going to show up and do my role. I've made the decision that this is what I want, and so I get to step in and co-create with my decision, with having made a decision that I want a date with a high quality man, and I want a new client. Like that's what I'm up to. So we can make those decisions all the time, and like Cindy was saying, in her running, she had to be attached to her why. It had to be meaningful enough for her to stay in the game, to continue to play. So if you're not connected to your why all the time, or there's no payoff for you, it doesn't feel good, and you're not creating these small wins for yourself, so you keep playing, or you keep staying committed to it, then of course you're gonna not want to keep to what you've decided. Like, of course you're gonna get sidetracked. So I made a couple calls to some clients. I've used some of these strategies and they're not calling back, or there, or it's not working. And you get in this mindset of it starts to kind of diminish. The return diminishes because you're not seeing a positive. You're not either coaching yourself to see the win, or you're getting completely derailed because you have an expectation and it's not being met. And so you stop doing the action, you've made this decision, and the decision starts to kind of fall down a little bit. And it starts to become not as potent of a decision. It starts to become a wavering decision. So it's not even a decision anymore. Now it's let me see, I don't know. It becomes emotional. It becomes um, distractible. It becomes, uh, I'll call it, not the decision is no longer protected. It's kind of like leaking, and it's just coming back to your mindset, which will keep you safe and stuck. And a lot of you know about this, about your ego, which is gonna, doesn't want you to grow, doesn't want you to feel uncomfortable, and keeps you protected. And this is where your limiting beliefs come up and your glass ceilings happen, is because you make a decision and then you don't trust yourself that you're actually going to follow through with it, or you don't set up, which is the next part of it, you don't set up yourself with the support and systems around you to be successful. You don't set up the masculine structure, like the masculine component of it, to be able to be in your feminine and create and continue to be attractive and feminine, to attract these opportunities for you. You let the emotions drive the behavior. You let the emotions drive if the decision is still going to make sense. We talked about it a little bit in a different way last week, but it's the same message of being relentless and committed to your decision. So in order to do that, you've got to be connected to why it matters to you. Like, what is your why behind why you've chosen, I want to have a date with a high quality man this week? God, I've been having all these other kinds of dates, and the men I've attracted up to this point has not been on my same page, or not to the standard that I want to play at. So this week is something new. I've decided that I want that. I've decided that I want a new client. And not just a client, I want a freaking client that gets me, that I get, that we get to show up and like create magic together. Okay, cool. Got that. So now I've made the decision. I'm going to play every day to make that happen, to do my part. And I'm going to set up, which needs to happen, an accountability system or a support system or things in place so that you show up, because you're not, if this hasn't worked before or you haven't achieved that result, which apparently maybe you have not in this way, because today is the 23rd, you've never had 23, 22 before. So, and you've never made the same declaration, like today is a fresh start, or decision, today is a fresh start. So what are you going to do in order to let yourself be supported, in order to let yourself receive? You've got to set up system, you've got to have some accountability. So then the next thing would be, which is why we've created this container for 7 days, is using positive accountability and support around you to stay in a high vibration, to stay in a high frequency, to actually feel the winds of connection and support around you, so you keep wanting to show up for what you say you want. When you have those moments of, oh God, that guy didn't call me back, or he was not a high quality man, or you have those offers that didn't go through, or it was like definitely not the right client, that you keep playing, that you still celebrate the wins from it, like the lessons. And so the 3 things we wanted to make sure were covered today, 3, is making a decision and the importance of that. What do you want? What is the 2, what are what is the 2 main things you want to create this week, and setting up the right structure and system. And we have that for you in the Feminine Mastery container for 7 days. So do you want to tell them, what else do you want to speak into about that?
Yeah. So a couple things that um so I loved it when you shared about making a decision, and then like things that get in the way, and allowing our emotions to get in the way of a decision being followed through. And this is where self-trust goes out the window. So how many times have you said, okay, I'm going to cut the sugar out this week, and then by the end of the day, you're, grabbing a chocolate covered almonds, or your
Chocolate cake.
chocolate cake, whatever, right? But by the end of the day, it's like you've made a decision, but it's almost unconscious to just reach towards that thing. So how do you set yourself up to win? So I remember the first time I was going upon a really serious health journey, and I was coached by someone. So I had accountability. Okay. Had accountability. And I was coached by someone to get everything out of my home that could tempt me. Now, today is a little bit of a different story because I have a family. I
Mhm.
can't take everything out. But when my decision is strong enough with whatever it is, I am also well aware that my emotions aren't stronger than me. So a lot of times when something happens that knocks us down, like, we're excited because we think we're going to go out on a date with a man that seems really great, and then he cancels last minute. And it's like everything can blow up. But unless you allow it to, that you can actually allow yourself to go into a space of going, okay, that feels disappointing. and I trust there's a really good reason for it. So there's not an attachment to the outcome. Maybe this wasn't my high quality guy. There's got to be something else. And I trust that what the universe has in store for me, or God, my creator, um, that I'm manifesting something that's at the highest and best for me. So that decision goes along with your emotional mindset being at the highest frequency that it can be. And we're going to talk a lot about this. You get to decide that no matter what happens, I'm not going to make myself wrong. Even if you decide that this week, along with your love and money declaration, you're taking, sugar out of the equation and you eat that chocolate cake today. Notice what happened. Notice the decision. And instead of making yourself wrong, you get to recommit, right? And this is the difference between being in, what I call sometimes with my clients, the red zone, the like low vibe. I'm not, this isn't low vibe. I'm, in victim, accusing energy, whatever it is, or high vibe zone, which I like to call alkaline, like green, right? It's the green zone
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
everything is bright and potent. So making those decisions based on that. And know that your emotions aren't stronger than you. They're not. Your emotions, your mind is super strong. That's why you create all the things that you create. So knowing that you are the master creator in your life, that you can receive whatever it is you want this week, whatever it is you decide. And you're going to have support from us in this container to do so. So here's your challenge today. You have one challenge today. And what it is to get in this group, cut a video, and tell us what you've decided to create in love and money this week. And even if it's exactly what we shared, awesome, super duper easy, right? New client, date, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Declare that. And then the next step is you get to, by declaring that, you've allowed yourself to be supported. So the masculine wants to support the feminine. The masculine is those strong arms around you to support you, is opening that door, is I'll take care of that. I'll move that over for you. But how often do you go, no, 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 I've got it. I've got this. That is you blocking your manifestation. So allowing yourself to fully receive. This is a really, really important part. And this is one of the things that stops women from receiving that and fear. And fear is all in the mindset. Fear is natural. It's a natural emotion to feel some fear to get on video and cut a quick 2-minute video. Here's what's going to set you up to win. Be clear and concise. I'm going to get on the online dating apps this week and connect with 10 men with an intention to create a date by the end of the week. Now, Maybe the winning for you is getting on the online dating apps when you haven't done it in 2 years, 10 years, whatever. That could
Mhm.
be a win.
Mhm.
So, whatever you decide, know that there's going to be doubt that comes up, there's going to be fear. It is natural, but your emotions aren't stronger than you. So, whatever you're more emotionally connected to, emotionally weighted towards, you will create. So if you don't believe there's a high value man out there that's, that has all of what you want and is single, then you're going to create that. You're going to find evidence that that is so. Or there's not a client that I could have. If you look outside of your window, our planet is set up of billions of people, and there are definitely people that are right and connected for you. You get to decide it's happening without attaching to what that looks like. Oftentimes, we get to attach to what it looks like, and then that's what causes our own stumbling blocks. Allow yourself to receive, that compliment and say, thank you. So,
Yes.
anything else you'd like to
Um,
share, Missy,
uh,
before we sign off?
no, I think that was great. I think just in recap, what is your just put in a video? Your call to action today is to put a video in, introduce yourself, and tell us what have you declared this week. What are the 2 things you want to create? One of them in regards to your relationship with your love. That could be self-love. That could be I'm doing self-love every day for 7 days. It could, whatever that is. I'm super excited to see it. And then something when it comes to money, and your business or what you're creating with your wealth. So that could be getting a new client. That could be saving X amount of money this week. That could be um, selling something, creating a launch, finishing something that I've let go for finishing a project or a program. But I can't wait to see it in the group and your video and connect with you more. And this is such an important thing as a foundation for anything, is making a decision, setting up the system and structure around you to support you with your decision so that you can have what you want. So thanks for coming in today, and can't wait to see your videos.
Yes, we can't wait. So join the Facebook group. If for some reason you're not in Facebook, go ahead and just post in the comments on YouTube and say, this is what I'm declaring in love. This is what I'm declaring in money this week. Awesome. It will be there, and then we will support you in being accountable to that this week. So tomorrow is a much bigger day, but this is the foundational space of raising that vibration, paying attention to your thoughts. If your thoughts start to go somewhere negative, I really believe in affirmations. I trust myself. I know that my desires are coming towards me. Of course, I'm receiving the love that I desire. Of course, I'm receiving that next level promotion. Of course, I'm receiving that new client. I'm excited.
Mhm.
And the more love and energy you put towards that, the more love and energy you receive back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
thank you guys for being here. I can't wait to see your videos. Post them today. Post them today. And we will be in the groups supporting you around accountability and next steps, and in creating your deep desire. Sending love to everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for being here. Bye.